was young. And I was in a dark place and I was broken. My name is Brandy Markham Kirby, and I was born in Florida, moved to Ohio at a very young age, and have lived here all of my life. I am a teacher for Gallia County Local Schools, and I have a boy. He's 12. His name is Hudson, and I just got married November 4th, 2020, to the love of my life, David Kirby. Growing up for me in Gallia County was a very warming experience. I love this area. I love the people that I grew up with. I grew up in a Christian home, attended a local Baptist church. I was raised in church my entire life. Yes, even in Florida, I remember going to church when I was very young, being a part of their ministry down there. I would say what started to lure me away from my church roots would be high school. That transition from middle school to high school is very tough. I went to church on Sundays and Wednesdays, and I played that part really well. But then after football games or after basketball games through high school, I would go off with my friends and we would get into trouble. We would drink alcohol, we would smoke, we would do all of these experimental things that high schoolers would do. My double life continued into college. I was really testing the waters at that time, and the Holy Spirit had never left me. God was there with me the whole time, trying to give guidance, but I was doing my own thing. It started to go more downhill when I met a man that I should never have dated, and we started a relationship. And that relationship was, it was crazy, it was fast, it was a whirlwind, and I gave myself over to him too early. I found out that I was pregnant in October of 2007. I remember telling him on a Wednesday, and by Saturday, he was gone. I couldn't reach him on his phone. I couldn't reach his mom on her phone. None of his friends were answering their phones, and I was pretty much terrified. And after a week had gone by, I told myself that I was just going to do this on my own. I felt that the only way for my life to be better and to go up from that point would be to terminate my pregnancy. And I was in a dark place and I was broken. And no one knew. So I thought that I could just go to Columbus, and I researched it. So I drove myself to Columbus, to a clinic, and I go inside, terrified on one half. The other half is telling me that no one knows me. I can slip in and slip out. No one would ever know. So I go in and I sign the paperwork. I talk to the woman at the desk. She tells me what to expect. I give her my money and I go sit by myself. And sitting there, I was looking around, and there were 10 other women in the clinic that were making the same decision that I was. And I got physically sick, physically ill. I thought I was going to pass out. I thought I was going to throw up. My skin became very cold and clammy. On the inside, I felt very hot. I thought I was going to just fall into the floor. But I started to breathe deep, and I felt the Lord speak to me. It wasn't an audible voice. It was a feeling within yourself. Like every cell in your body knows that voice. Whether you know the Lord or not, you know that voice. And my heart broke because I was breaking His. And He told me that if I left the clinic, that He would take care of everything. That I didn't know what that everything was, but I just felt safe. And I didn't feel broken anymore. And I made the decision that I was going to keep my son. So I went to the window and I handed the clipboard back to the nurse and I told her that I had changed my mind. And a lot of times we can hide our sin, but I knew that I would have to wear mine out in front of me for 9 months. But God gave me a spirit of determination and not timidity. So I knew that it was going to be a rough uphill battle, but I would rather face that battle with my Lord than without Him. Life for me now is joyous and just a breath of fresh air. My son, he's 12, and he loves soccer, and he attends the local Christian school, and he's a straight A student. He's never had a B, and he wants to be a surgeon. So that for me brings up proud feelings because his life almost wasn't. And then he might be able to save lives. So God has a plan for him. That's going to be his testimony too, is that story. And he knows the story. And it's a beautiful story. It's our story. And he understands that he has a purpose and that God is not going to leave him, because that's the promise that God told me, was that everything would be okay. And everything has been okay. If I knew of a woman who was faced with the decision that I was faced with making, I would come alongside her and I would let her know that this is not the only choice that you have. This is not the only option that you have. And even if you decide that the baby is not for your life, then there are families all over the United States that would love and care for your baby. And the Lord loves you, and He doesn't care what you've done in your past. He never left me, and He was right along with me right up until that clinic date. And He hasn't left me since then.